Hey there, so today we have another review. This is a beer from New Belgium. This is Voodoo Ranger Juice, or sorry, Fruit Force. They've written Juice Force, which is a 9% double IPA. This is a 9% double IPA. It's got all the like fun new hops to it. It's got like Fato, I think Sabra. It's got a ton of hops in there. And 9.5% double IPA, but it's called a Fruit Punch IPA. They do not mention if there are any other fruit flavorings to it. I did email New Belgium about Juice Force, and they were nondescript whether these quote unquote natural flavors. I suspect there were natural flavors in there in the sense of like flavors to enhance the fruitiness of that beer. This is best by about 3.5 months away, so pretty fresh. I don't know exactly when it was canned. It's hard to read that, but on the warm shelf, so maybe we'll see. Beer comes pretty good. Like it comes in a light to medium, light gold color. Has a nice medium to medium plus haze to it. Well, the head lasted pretty okay on the nose. I mean, so yeah, fruit punch IPA. So there's no joke here. I mean, I thought Juice Force had some extra flavor to it. There's no joke here. This smells like freaking Gatorade fruit punch, high C. Like hops don't do this. Like it's just so artificial. So that's what we're doing with IPA these days. That's what we're doing. Hazy double IPA. We're pushing in. I mean, the color doesn't seem wrong, but that's fruit punch. It's fruit punch, and there's no hops and no flavor. There's nothing you can do with malt, yeast, hops, and water that will create this aroma. Yeah, I mean, it smells like Jolly Ranchers. It smells like High C. It smells. The big one is Gatorade fruit punch. This is a specific brewery that I may or may not know of that might have used that kind of product, but okay. So on the palate, you got a big hazy IPA. I don't know why this guy has to be 9.5. It's very big. You're getting your bang for the buck. It's honestly clashy because nothing about this beer really sells red. Like I think of fruit punch, I think red, right? I think of like fruit punch. On the palate, it's more like light malt, sort of the signature things you get from Voodoo Ranger. A little bit of cream of malt to it, a little bit of mostly light malt characteristics. The hop characteristics going to be a little bit. Honestly, this might not be the freshest can. It just doesn't express much hoppiness, and it lingers on. Not too chalky, not too grassy. A little bit just kind of lingering bland, kind of New England hop flavor. So what you get is a huge aromatic of fruit punch, and then you just get a pretty bland double IPA underneath. And then as you drink it more, you sort of get the really punchy fruit punch flavor that's like very what do you call it? Like distracting. It's like it's like someone made a fruity, like an okay hazy double IPA, but then added fruit punch product to it, but like diet. What is it? Brett Kreischer, the comedian, drinks that stuff like diet high C. That's so weird. I don't know. I'm down. Sorry. I'm not down. I'm not down. It's too clashy. There's no reason your hazy IPA should have such intense aromatic fruit punch. I'm thinking that like a kettle sour would do great to it. Obviously, there's brewers that do that. A kettle sour does better. Maybe a sour IPA or something, but it's aromatically so fruit punchy, and then you get a big boozy hazy underneath it. And first off, I'm obviously not a fan these days of anything above like 8.85 on on hazy IPA, especially 10. Like it's just so hard to get through. There's just so big and boozy, and there's nothing really redeeming about getting that high in ABV. Imperial stouts have no problem like just crushing like the richness sort of works. I find that again, I find styles just have a certain ABV range where they crush, and then when you get here past 8.85, it just gets so boozy and like there's no balance to it, and it's like big and chunky a little bit, like it's hoppy and chunky, and then all you have is this like fruit thing on top of it, like fruit punch thing that like is so misplaced. It's almost like what's a good analogy? Let's go a better one. I'm trying my hardest. Yes, sure. It's like having a nice steak, and then like all you smell is like lettuce. If you like season a steak with lettuce, it just like right. I mean, these are obviously more adjacent flavors, but like it's just like all you smell is lettuce if you're eating a steak, right? They just these things just don't vibe too well. They're just like So obviously not the best analogy, but like just the high C flavor is just so intense. The Gatorade fruit punch is just so intense. That's your rating. 83. That is Voodoo Ranger Fruit Force. Let me know what you think. If you like that fruit punch aroma, go ahead. I'm not a big fan. Later.